So last week I released the video talking about the new gecko enclosures, and today I'm going to start off by setting up the 55 gallons to become vertical enclosures, and then I'll also be building the drainage layer, and that will be the video for this week. So I have it set up where I'll just show you me like as I'm doing it, and I'll kind of explain what I'm doing. I have the 355-gallon tanks, and I have old aquarium glass that I'm going to put onto what is normally the top of the tank, but will now be the front of the tank, as I am flipping these long 55-gallon tanks onto their smallest side to make them vertical arboreal enclosures. And I want the bottom to hold in water and substrate and everything it needs to that you'd need for a terrarium. So I have this old aquarium glass from aquariums I've taken apart in the past, and I used the glass cutter and the oil to kind of cut it, and this piece didn't work out so well, so I kind of had to scrap that one. And now I'm marking a new piece, and this piece will work out decently enough when I go ahead and try to cut it. But again, it's just a piece of old aquarium glass, and I haven't mastered cutting glass. I'm not all that great at it, but this one worked out pretty well. So now I kind of wetted down some really fine sandpaper, and I'm using that to make the edge less dangerous for me to work with, so it's not so sharp and, like glass. So then I can properly work with it and installing it in the front of the tank, which is now what I'll go ahead and show you. Okay, so I cut out part of the silicone where the glass will go. So you can look right there and there. And I used this nifty tool that I was given, and it has a bunch of different sharp things on it that I can switch out and stuff, which is really cool. But I have the piece of glass here, and now it slides in like perfectly, nice and snug. And now all I need to do is clean out the area. Then I just need to run a small line of silicone on the inside of this, plop it in, and then another one on the outside, and then it should be all perfect. And then I just need to do the same thing on the other one over here. So I'll actually show you me cutting that out. So I'm sorry that this footage is blurry. That was not intentional, but here I am cutting it out. Then I think I wiped it down with alcohol just to clean up any debris. I went ahead and put on the silicone and slapped on the piece of glass, and then again with another layer of silicone to cover it up on that side. And now here you can actually see what I'm doing. I cleaned it up with alcohol and did exactly the same thing. Silicone, then glass, then eventually I'll do silicone again. And it got kind of messy, but it didn't really matter as long as it wasn't on the front glass like everywhere. Then it wasn't a big deal, and it wasn't very hard. Even if it did end up drying on the glass, I can cut it off. So overall, there's not too much way to mess it up. I just finished up 2 really nice drainage layers that fit in very, very effectively. And then I realized that I need to water test these things because I kind of, did a thing. So I need to take out the drainage layer out of this one. Unfortunately, I don't have any more zip ties. I used the rest of them on that last drainage layer. So that is unfortunate because I can't build a third one right now until I go get more stuff. But there you have it. This one's a whole lot easier. That one is made to not come out, and it's very hard to remove. So I just had to remove it. And there's some stuff in here. I don't even know. I don't know, just like dead bugs and stuff from this tank. I'm honestly don't think I'm going to clean it out. I think I'm just going to put the drainage layer in, not worry about it. But first, I am going to put water in it, so that will essentially clean it out a little bit when I then have to remove the water. But I'm just going to get a 5-gallon bucket, dump them in each of these, and then see if the silicone I put in holds up. So this one has no leakage, so I filled it all the way up. Holds about 10 gallons, or 8 to 10 gallons, or something like that. And just no leaks at all, even when I filled it all the way up. So that's really nice. This one doesn't have a front end yet, and this one did leak. So I flipped it over and I got all the water out, and it leaked down here. So somewhere on the inside, I'm just gonna have to add more silicone, or maybe remove some and add some, because silicone generally doesn't stick to silicone very well, so it'd be hard to fix that, especially since I don't know exactly where it was. I tried to figure it out, but it was kind of weird. So I'll add more silicone there, and that should take care of that in that corner, and then hopefully the rest of it. Looks like I might need to add some there too. I really don't know why it didn't work, but whatever. I'll fix it. This one, like I said, doesn't have anything. And then this one's nice and good, no leakage. There's a little bit of water on the floor, but that's from me. But that's pretty impressive, I think. And hopefully we can get the rest going pretty good. So then, if I ever want to fill these with water, but more importantly, it's going to be humid in there. I mean, there's a drainage layer, and we want to make sure if the drainage layer fills with water that it doesn't leak all over like it would with the other tank. Okay, so I have to cut the third piece of glass now because I need to water test the third tank and get that going, and also I need to do the drainage layer on it because I have not done that, and I will actually show me making that because I did not show the first two. But here I just have another old piece of aquarium glass that I'm trying to cut. I went ahead and tried to do it, and as you can see, it failed. Because honestly, I'm not very good at this at all. So I'm trying again with a different piece of aquarium glass because I have tons of glass just from like aquariums I've taken apart. And as you can see, it just like didn't quite do it right. It just went along its own line. But whatever, it was close enough. What I could do with that is that I just simply filled the area with silicone and ended up working out just fine. It was just kind of annoying that it like just went its own way. But anyway, it worked well enough. And here you can see me re-water testing what I originally, the one that didn't work the first time, and then I'm putting it in for the other one because time has already passed enough that it's properly, like it takes overnight before you can add water and stuff. So considering I had like a week to do these to do a lot of this project, I was kind of in a rush, but I ended up working out. So here I'm reinforcing the first ones because what I basically did is I had a piece that went to a 20 gallon or a 30 gallon tall, so like a 20 gallon long or a 30 gallon tall, and I modified that to fit into these 55 gallon tanks, and I wanted to make sure that they were properly supported within these tanks. So that is what I'm doing here. And then in this last clip, in just a second, I'm going to be making an entirely new one with entirely new pieces. And it's very simple. You're just building a box out of egg crate light diffuser, which you can find at like Lowe's or Menards or whatever. And then you just use normal zip ties, and then you can cover it with landscaping mesh. In this case, landscaping mesh is good enough. But if you were doing something with like a bearded dragon, then you're going to want to use carbon fiber window screen to make sure that it doesn't just like cut right through, because they will cut right through landscaping mesh. But landscaping mesh ensures that none of the fine dirt particles go down into your drainage layer. Okay, so this is the end of the video. I'm just going to be splitting it up like this. Hopefully that is alright and more enjoyable than just like one 40-minute video where I make 3 55-gallon tanks. Just because the only 2 things to learn in this video: how to make a tank vertical for this process, and I haven't done the doors yet, but that'll be its own video as well. and then how to make a drainage layer as well, which I also did a video on that for Richard, my bearded dragon, so I will leave that somewhere for you to check out. But hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, like it down below. If you have any comments or concerns, in the comments below. And if for more content, then subscribe.